Hey everybody, thanks for joining. Here we got Gong Bao Jiding. This is a finished product. It's Szechuan chicken with peanuts, and it turned out delicious. So in order to make this, I'm using the wok from Kenji Lopez Alt, recipe from his book, and got my bowls laid out. Got some Chinkang vinegar, some light soy sauce, got Shaoxing wine, cornstarch, also roasted peanuts, and some veggies. So got honey, got some, these are Sichuan peppercorns, about a teaspoon, and got some green onion, garlic, a knob of ginger, and some red chilies, and about a pound of chicken breast, and some kosher salt. So we'll get going here. And I have mixed up a few things in advance, which I'll get into. That's the marinade. I've got some cornstarch, and we've also got the sauce that I mixed up just to save us the time, and I'm using two cutting boards here just to save a little bit of time. Also have a colander for the chicken. So we're going to dice up the chicken in about half-inch dice, and actually the book covers off how to do this as well, so it's got a lot of techniques in it. So once that's diced, I'm going to throw it in the colander and going to rinse it under cold water and drain it. So going to give this a rinse. And once rinsed, we'll throw it back in the bowl and we'll add the sauce. This is Shaoxing wine and light soy sauce, about a teaspoon of each, and about a teaspoon of cornstarch, and we'll mix that up. Add a little bit of salt to it as well. A generous pinch. It was interesting at the end, this was not a salty dish. I probably could have added a little bit more seasoning at this point to the chicken. Always seems like I'm adding a lot, but not as much as I think, I guess. So we'll set that aside and let it sit while we chop the veggies. And starting with the green onion, chop that up, and it's really just the whites and the pale green parts, and kept the ends for another purpose. So those will go in about a half-inch, cutting it sort of on the offset diagonally, and those will be about half an inch. Then we'll work through everything else. And here with those peppers, I'm snipping them with scissors and emptying out all of the seeds. So I'll get rid of the seeds and just be left with the peppers. You'll see the garlic was sliced and the ginger was matchsticked. So now I got about a teaspoon of cornstarch and gonna add a little bit of water to it, and this will be a cornstarch slurry that we will use to thicken the final product. Probably won't use it all, but it's mixed up and ready to roll. And that the sauce is actually a mixing of the Chinkang vinegar, honey, the Shaoxing wine, and the light soy sauce. So that's what's in the red bowl, which will go in at the end. So now we're just going to head this over to the stove. So first step here is to get the wok hot. And I made a couple technical errors in executing this recipe, and that's the interesting thing with wok cooking is it all happens so fast you don't really have time to check the recipe. So here I added a bit of peanut oil, and you can use any neutral oil here to the wok once it got smoking hot. So that oil gets very hot immediately, and here I add the chicken. Now, I was actually supposed to do the Sichuan peppercorns and the chilies here to the oil, then add the chicken to that, but I forgot to do that, so I'm going to add them in when I add the aromatics. And here I've edited this, but the idea is just getting the chicken partially cooked, brown on the outside. It'll finish cooking. We're going to take it off the heat and do the aromatics and add it back in. It'll finish cooking then. So this did take about probably 3 or 4 minutes. And basically put that aside. And then I'm going to give the wok a quick, just a quick wash, because the cornstarch sort of makes a bit of a mess in the wok. Here it comes back, put it on the heat, evaporate the water, get it smoking hot again, and then we will add some more oil to it. You see how the water's gone, it's hot. Add some more oil. Now here I made my second technical error, which is I basically incinerated the red peppers. You can see I had the peppercorns and the red peppers, and they basically turned black right away. The idea was to get them fragrant without burning them, but sort of burn them a little bit. They weren't in there for very long, but probably should. If I would have added them first and add the chicken to it, that would have taken the heat off. So here I'm adding the other aromatics, the ginger and the garlic, just again for a few seconds. I don't want to burn it. And then we'll add the green onion and the peanuts and just give that a stir till it mixes again, just for a few seconds. This is speeded up. I'm showing this a little fast, but it really was in there for about 10 seconds. And then we'll add the chicken and get everything combined. As you can see, it comes together super fast. So this is where the chicken basically finishes cooking. So I'm going to toss that for a bit, and then I'm going to add that sauce. It had honey in it, so I want to make sure I give it a swirl so the honey doesn't stick to the bottom. Put it around the outside of the wok just so it caramelizes a little bit. And give it a stir for, again, this was probably about 30 seconds or so. And it sort of evaporate off a little bit. Here I'm giving the slurry a little bit of a stir, the cornstarch slurry, and I'm going to add about half of it here and see how that goes. So it mixed it in, and you can see how it thickened up pretty fast, so I didn't need to add any more. And the test here really is that there's no liquid at the bottom of the wok. So giving that a toss a few times in order to make sure it's thick and incorporated. And then really we're ready to plate. So turn the stove off, get the plate out, and we'll put it on the plate. And this whole cooking process really only took about 10 minutes start to finish in real life time. And that's including the washing of the wok in between. So on the plate it goes. I've got to get better at getting it on the plate without making a big mess. I'm sure that'll come with practice. And there we go, Gong Bao Ji Ding. So this I'm serving with a little bit of steamed rice, and although those peppers, you can see they look pretty black, they shouldn't be that black. However, they didn't taste burnt, so it seemed to be okay. Next time I will cook it, I'll do those with the chicken and see. That might infuse the chicken with a little bit of flavor. Thank you everybody for joining me for this video.